You know, every project really has two phases. There's the calm before the storm, and then there's the storm itself. The planning phase, it's clean, it's logical, it's full of promise. But what happens when that perfect plan smacks right into the messy reality of execution? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. How you can navigate all that chaos and find some real clarity with a little help from AI. Project planning is that beautiful, quiet moment, isn't it? It's just you, maybe a whiteboard, and this perfectly clear vision. It's all about structure, logic, and trying to predict the future. It's where you get to think clearly. And then the project kicks off, and suddenly you're not just thinking anymore, you're reacting, you're adapting, you're navigating constant, nonstop change. It's way less about a clean whiteboard and a whole lot more about surviving the beautiful chaos of reality. So let's talk about that pressure. What is it that turns the execution phase into this relentless pressure cooker? Let's break down exactly why it can feel so overwhelming. I mean, does any of this sound familiar? You're getting pinged for status updates from literally every direction. New risks are popping up just when you thought you handled last week's problems. The scope is shifting under your feet. All your stakeholders seem to want something different, and you are absolutely drowning in updates but starving for any real insight. Yeah, it's a pretty universal feeling for project managers. But here's the thing, and this is so important. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. This isn't a skill issue. The real enemy here is the sheer volume and speed of information coming at you all at once. It's a battle against cognitive overload. And this is exactly where AI comes in. But look, don't think of it as a replacement. The best way to think about it is as your new co-pilot, someone to help you shift from all that tedious manual processing to having clear strategic oversight. This slide lays out the partnership perfectly. AI handles all the grunt work, the summarizing, the structuring, the drafting, and what does that do? It frees you up to focus on what we humans do best, using our judgment, providing leadership, and setting the real strategic direction. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? A co-pilot. But what does that actually look like in practice? Let's dive into some really practical ways you can start using this in your daily work, like right now. First up, let's tackle the big one, status reporting. We all know it's one of the biggest time sucks out there. Not because it's hard, but because it's just so constant and repetitive. It's the daily grind. So instead of staring at a blank page every single week, imagine this. AI takes all your raw inputs, your notes, your team updates, and instantly drafts the report. Better yet, it can adjust the tone for you. One version for the executives, another, more detailed one for the technical team. It automatically highlights what's changed since last week and keeps everything consistent. You go from being the writer to being the editor, and you get hours back. And getting started is way easier than you'd think. It's all about the prompt. A clear instruction like this one gives the AI its role, the context it needs, and the structure you want. You just feed it the raw data, and it hands you back a polished first draft. It's that simple. Okay, so reporting is one thing, but what about a challenge that's a little more dynamic? Let's talk about managing risks that are constantly changing. This is where your AI copilot becomes a real game changer. It can constantly reevaluate your risk log based on new project data. It can spot subtle patterns in all those weekly updates that might signal a new threat on the horizon. It can even prepare draft mitigation plans for you to review. So you're no longer just tracking risks, you're actually getting ahead of them. And once again, a specific, targeted prompt is the secret sauce. You're not just asking for a summary here. You're giving the AI new constraints, a schedule delay, a vendor problem, and you're asking it to perform analysis based on that. This elevates it from a simple drafter to a real strategic partner. Now for the third one, and honestly, this might be the most powerful use case of all. Using AI to help navigate those really complex decisions where there's no obvious right answer. Now, let's be really clear. The AI can't make the decision for you. But what it can do, and this is huge, is make the decision you have to make infinitely clearer. It does this by structuring all the messy information, laying out your options side by side, highlighting the pros and cons of each, and making those critical trade-offs visible. Just look at this table. It's a perfect example. You're facing a resource shortage, okay? You've got two main paths. Option one, hire a contractor. The risks, the costs, the impacts, they're all laid out right there. Option two, delay delivery. The trade-offs are completely different, right? With this level of clarity, Your decision suddenly becomes an informed choice instead of just a gut feeling. So when you start combining these tools, the reporting, the risk analysis, the decision support, something really fundamental starts to happen. AI helps you move from being constantly in reactive mode to proactively seeing what's coming around the corner. And the magic behind this is something called pattern recognition. An AI can scan hundreds of status updates and find those weak signals that we might miss in the daily noise. You know, that recurring issue that seems small but is actually a systemic problem, or those early warning signs of a major delay down the road. Okay, but we absolutely have to talk about boundaries. This is critical. AI is a tool for clarity, not a replacement for your accountability. It should never, ever make the final call. It can't replace a crucial conversation with your team, and it must never be used to hide the messy reality of a situation. Its job is to enhance transparency, not mask it. So the big question is, how do you actually start doing all of this? Let's walk through a super simple, actionable framework you can put into place this week. Here it is, your new weekly workflow. Step 1, you collect all your inputs, team updates, data, the works. Step 2, you feed them to your AI copilot to summarize and structure everything. Step 3, and this is the most important step, you review and adjust it for accuracy and context. Then, Step 4, you communicate with total clarity to your stakeholders. And the result? Step 5, your time is freed up to focus on what really matters, managing risks and making those key decisions. And really, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. It's a perfect division of labor. AI handles the processing, you handle the leadership. So that brings us to our final thought. I want you to think about your own projects. Right now, where is the noise the loudest? Where could having clearer, faster summaries fundamentally improve the decisions you make? That's the real power of AI in project execution, turning all that overload back into insight. Thanks for joining us.